Hi everyone, Eloise here for Craftie Cafe, and we are doing graduation cards for the month of July. So I'm making a graduation card today, and I'm using the Happy Graduation stamp set from My Favourite Things along with the Smart Cookie stamp and die set by Lawn Fawn. So I'm first going to start out with stamping down all of my images. So I'm going to stamp 5 cookies and 5 hats along with a graduation little scroll thing, and also I'm stamping some of the glasses on the cookies as well. So I'm using Copic colours today for all of my colouring, and so I first start off with colouring the graduation caps. So I'm just using C9, C7 and also C5 for all of my colouring for the hats, and I wanted them to be black, but when you use, like the black Copic markers, it sort of like erases the lines in which you stamped the image. So I didn't want that to happen. So I'm just using some really dark greys, and that sort of appears more black anyway. So I've just gone ahead and coloured those. Now I'm using some browns for all the cookies. I am using all of the same browns just to make it a little easier. So I'm just using E57, E55 and then E53. These are definitely my most favourite browns out of the whole Copic brown collection, and I use these a lot. I just also thought they were the perfect brown for the cookies. So now I'm just going in with the lightest, which is E53, and I'm just blending those all together. I do really like to work dark to light now, just because I find it a little bit faster to colour in with. And when you're using colours that are really close together, you can easily colour in this way, and it blends really nicely. So now I'm just fixing up the little eyes there with the C Copic colourless blender, just to make sure that none of that colour seeped in there or anything like that. Then I'm just using some really light cool greys, so the C1, C0 and C00, to colour in the scrolls, just to make them appear more white as well. And then I'm using some reds for the little middle of the scroll and the little dangling bit off the cap. So I'm just using R29, R27 and R24 for that. And then I'm just using a couple of yellows for this little round piece here. So just Y13 and Y11. So that finishes up all my colouring, and now I'm just using the coordinating dies to cut all of these pieces out. So I've just placed them off to the side, and now I'm going to work on my background. So what I decided to do is I'm going to use the Lookout World sentiment from the Happy Graduation set. And so I decided that on my colour choices for the background, I sort of wanted it to look like, the world. So I decided to pull out some Distress Oxide inks, and I'm going to do sort of some watercolour smushing with them. So I've just grabbed a rectangular acrylic block, and I'm just smushing down the 3 colours onto the block. And then I'm just spraying this a ton with my water bottle. So I decided to flip my watercolour piece onto that. So it didn't really matter if it didn't line up in the centre or anything like that, because I'm going to spray this once more to spread that colour out a little bit. So I decided to just go ahead and go and spray it with the water sprayer bottle once again. I'm just spraying this a ton off camera, and then I'm going to come back and heat dry the entire piece. So you can see here that all of that colour moved out a little bit more, which is what I really wanted. So I really like, doing the watercolour sort of effects with these Distress Oxide inks. It gives it a really different look. So once I had gone ahead and heat set the background, I'm just sort of arranging my scene together. So I wanted these 5 cookies to sort of be all together in a group, and them throwing their hats in the air, because I figured that's what you do at graduations, right? Or at least in America you do. I don't really know if graduations are the same over here. I've never really graduated from anything other than high school. So anyway, I'm just sort of placing these hats sort of around on top of them to sort of look like they're moving and they're throwing them up in the air. And then for the last cookie in the middle, I'm going to have him have the hat on his head. So, and then also carrying his little diploma as well, which I thought this looked really cute. So that's what I'm going to do. And then here's where I decided on the sentiment I was going to use. I originally was going to use a sentiment Reach for the Stars, and then I decided not to, and then I was tossing up whether to use this Happy Graduation one, since I just felt that it was a lot more simpler, and I really liked the way that looked, but I thought it was too small for the section. So I decided to, in the end, just go with the Lookout World one, and I just went back to my original idea and decided to use that one. So anyway, I'm now just adding, I stamped that down onto the background with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Then I just added foam tape onto all of the backs of these hats and the cookies and the diploma, and then I'm just adhering these onto the background. I just think it looks really cute how those hats look like they're up in the air. It's really fun, and I just think all the colours tie in really well together with this card. So once I've gone ahead and adhered that on there, I'm just going to adhere this entire piece onto some fun foam to have some even dimension all on the back, and then I'm going to adhere it to a black card base. So yeah, I really like how this turned out. I think it's a really fun graduation card, and not that I really have many people in my life graduating at the moment, I just thought it would be a really fun card to make for somebody. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. All the supplies will be listed down below to the Craftie Cafe shop, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks so much for watching.